3 days ago, YouTube quietly rewrote the rule that decides whether your channel gets paid. If your videos look templated, even a little, you can lose monetization with zero warning and zero strike. I make AI automation content for a living, so I built a workflow that scores every script I write against YouTube's own criteria before I ever hit upload. I'm showing you the exact build and you're getting the workflow file. Here's what actually changed. It's not no AI allowed. YouTube says that outright. It's no AI that feels mass-produced. The update adds detection signals for AI content, not just user reports, which means a video doesn't need anyone to flag it. And the consequence isn't a warning. Channels have had monetization pulled retroactively on videos that were already earning after the system flagged the pattern. My first instinct was just write better scripts, but that's not a system, it's a hope. You can't reliably spot your own templated patterns because you're the one who wrote them. They don't sound repetitive to you, they sound like your voice. What you actually need is an outside check, applied the same way every time, before you publish, not after a strike shows up in your inbox. So I built the thing I actually needed, an agent that reads my script roughly the way YouTube's system might and grades it before I regret it. The core piece is n8 n2.0's new AI agent node. Before this release, building something like a self-critiquing script scorer meant real code, an API call, a parser, somewhere to store the result. Now it's a canvas, a trigger, and one node with a system prompt. Under 20 minutes, no code. And by the end of this video, you'll watch it fail one of my real scripts live, and I'll show you exactly what triggered it. Here's the system prompt, and every line maps to something YouTube actually said, not a guess. Criterion 1, specificity, real numbers, named tools, concrete outcomes versus vague hype language. Criterion 2, structural originality. Does the pacing feel unique or like a template stamped out for the 6th time? Criterion 3, voice pattern variation. Is the sentence rhythm natural or robotic and repetitive, which is one of the clearest AI voice-over tells? Criterion 4, disclosure correctness. Is AI-generated narration or footage actually labeled where it's required? And Criterion 5, the one I think matters most, would a real person recognize this as made for them or made for an algorithm? Zoomed out, the pipeline is simple. Script goes in, the agent node scores it against those 5 criteria, and anything under 7 out of 10 gets flagged, not just with a number, but with the exact lines that triggered each score. That specificity is the part that makes it useful instead of just a grade. Wiring this took about 20 minutes, and I want to be honest that this exact build wasn't really practical in n8 and 1.0. The agent node is what changed that. If you just joined, here's the stakes again in one sentence. If your channel uses AI voiceover, AI B-roll, or a format that repeats itself, which is a huge share of this exact niche, you're inside YouTube's detection scope right now, not hypothetically. Building a check like this takes 20 minutes. Losing monetization takes 0. And the proof that this actually works is coming up right now. I'm running my own scripts through it, live, unedited. I ran 3 versions of this exact segment through the agent, live, no retakes edited out. Version 1, generic hype, 1 out of 10. So I rewrote it to sound more specific. Version 2, 2 out of 10. The agent caught something I didn't. I'd made a claim that sounded specific but had no source behind it. Confident isn't the same as true, and apparently my scoring agent knows that better than I did, so I rewrote it again. This time, every claim is something you could actually go check, including the part where I put an old API key into the wrong field and had to redo it. Version 3, 7 out of 10, not a 10. It still flagged that same policy line for having no URL attached. And it's right, I should link it in the description, so I will. These are the real unedited scores. I'm not chasing a 10 for you on camera. That would be exactly the kind of performance this tool exists to catch. What you're getting is the exact workflow, the JSON file, free, no gate beyond leaving a comment. Setup is one line. Import the JSON into your own n8n instance, drop your script into the prompt field, and run it. YouTube isn't banning AI content. It's banning content that feels like nobody was in the room when it was made. This workflow is how I make sure someone was, every time, before I hit publish. If you want the JSON file, comment score below and I'll send it. That also tells me how many of you are dealing with the same risk, which decides next week's video. Subscribe if you build with AI and don't want to find out about a policy change from a payout drop.